Where the hell's our backup?
Tobin gets in the truck, opens the exit, and we're off. Daryl gets on his bike.
You see that?
We gotta do this now! Damn straight, we'll do it live!
What's up, guys? Boy, Benny. What is the theme of 2024? Well, for the years of 2020 to 2023, the theme was you after round. And 2024, the theme is you about to find out. And so let's go ahead and check in on what happened in 2020 in a state called Illinois. Now, Illinois is a state famous for its corruption, famous for being a hard blue state because of one little county around Chicago, Cook County, where Joe Biden won 75% of the vote, you can see here. This one county actually accounts for all of Joe Biden's victory in Illinois. Without this county, Joe Biden doesn't win Illinois. You can see Illinois is a predominantly red state. And you can see here, of course, the size of the victory, right? It's a good example. This shows you exactly how big the margins were around Chicago, how blue Chicago actually was for Joe Biden. You can see there. Nothing else even comes close to countering the size of the Chicago vote. So Chicago voted for Joe Biden. Joe Biden said he wanted to surge the border. And ladies and gentlemen, now Illinois is getting what they voted for. Everyone in Chicago is complaining, mewling, screaming about the criminal alien problem. I got to tell you, I was in Chicago. Chicago isn't Chicago anymore. Like, I was in Chicago looking at what downtown has become, like what the city has become. It's third world. The entire place is like a homeless encampment. The entire city is effectively taken over third world homeless encampment. Because Chicago either welcomed in as a sanctuary city or were sent from red states, like Texas Governor Greg Abbott sending those migrants to Chicago, hundreds of thousands of criminal aliens. And now they're complaining about it. Chicago has a predominantly black population in many neighborhoods and areas. And some of those black voters are getting on a mic and complaining about the criminal aliens. This led to a truth bomb that hit our social feed, and we thought you would like it as well. Have a listen to this. Three dudes who have a podcast, the Torbett Show on YouTube, so shout out to them, were listening to a Chicago resident complain about the migrants, and they asked a very simple question.
Should have been changed a long time ago. So they bringing them in. You wonder where the money coming from? They taking it. The COVID fund that was here, that money. Yep. You talking about all the pro housing programs. So when people pay rent, all the rental programs, that money, all the programs that we have in the city of Chicago, they are bankrupting us. They are taking from all of these programs that we have, and they're taking the money and they're funding the migrants. Yeah. Our taxpayers, we've already paid $32 million out of our taxes to house and take care of the migrants thus far. Now, we already know the only ones who qualify to become citizens in asylum here from the starts of if they were here after August, they don't even qualify. Period. But here we're going to be taking care of them for 5 to 7 years while there's paperwork floating on people's desk. And why? Send them home. Send them back. But Venezuela already said, oh, we're not taking them back.
Mm-hmm.
So now,
I got a question for you. Who did you vote for?
First of all, wait, I have no problem with saying that I did vote for Biden because I was not voting. Okay. I did. Okay, but here it is.
Hold on. That was a question. Okay. Now you answered it, right?
Okay.
This migrant influx that we're dealing with right now, this is your fault.
Uh-oh. Okay, well, let me say, hold on. First of all, let me say.
You're not going to be able to yell or scream or harp over that one. Joe Biden said he wanted to surge the border with criminal aliens. The first thing that Joe Biden did was get rid of 97 different executive orders that stopped the inflow of criminal, illegal alien immigration from the third world into places like Chicago. So, lady, you actually literally voted for this. I got very little empathy for people in Chicago. I really do. Because if you want to change everything, vote different. Enough of this. Look at this. This is size of victory. Look at the size of the victory in Chicago. 75% voted for Joe Biden. If you want something different, vote different. You get what you vote for. Now residents are literally threatening the migrant. Things have gotten so bad, they're like resorting to some pretty brutal Chicago-esque tactics. Have a listen to this shocking news report.
These residents say they no longer have any tolerance for the disruptive behavior by those seeking asylum here. It's making them feel unsafe.
They disrespect us, they rob us, they harass us.
And their patience is wearing thin.
Let me say this. They got one more time to deal with it, because otherwise, next time they deal with it, they're going to deal with it from the streets. We're going to take over it. Nobody's going to be able to stop us from what we're going to do to them.
Much of the residents' anger was directed at city officials in attendance, including 20th Ward Alderwoman Jeanette Taylor, Chicago Deputy Police Chief Stephen Chung, and Family and Support Services Commissioner Brandy Kanazi. At one point, police had to intervene, breaking up an argument during public comment.
Things are popping off in Chicago. Listen to these people. Just listen to the people. Just turn the cameras on and listen to what they have to say. That guy saying that we're going to take it to the streets. Listen to this guy.
We have a hard no for immigrants coming here. A very hard no.
We come in a community of black people where we already get the low scraps. And then you want to take the little scraps, the resources that we have, and put us at the bottom of the barrel? That's not fair. And I won't have it.
Yeah, baby. Chicago winds of change. Democrats flip on Brandon Johnson over migrant crisis in Windy City as they warn the mayor and his and Biden's fault for backing sanctuary cities. Chicago is struggling to care for more than 34,000 asylum seekers bussed in. There are Democrats who are hoping to end the sanctuary city status. She believed the city could turn purple if Democrats fail to handle the crisis. So there is a lady, and here she is right here, who is saying effectively that there's a division in our Democratic Party that has weakened and it's going to get worse. The city of Chicago voters have woken up to the state of Illinois. Voters have woken up and they're not standing with our old leadership. The immigration crisis is going to flip the state of Illinois purple. Illinois, the state that first elected Barack Obama to the Senate, has elected just one Republican governor and senator each since the turn of the century. So this has always been a rigged state for Democrats and for the machine. So she is saying this has nothing to do with like the governor of Texas. This is the fault of Joe Biden, the governor of Illinois, J.B. Pritzker, and the mayor of Chicago. Man, just a brutal takedown. I mean, it is really sad to see. This is what like the police stations look like. This is what O'Hare Airport looks like. Chicago's fallen, man. Chicago's fallen. And Democrats tried to sneak in a immigrant camp into a neighborhood in Chicago. Residents of Chicago voted for Brandon Johnson, that's the new woke mayor, communist mayor, have now filed a lawsuit protesting against him for housing illegal migrants in public spaces. Oh, man. Things are getting heated here. Black residents sue Chicago mayor over migrant tent city. State halts construction over toxic chemicals. Let's have a listen.
They told us we have more than few thousand people who signed a signature here who said no. We said no.
Tensions escalate on the southwest side as the city gets closer to housing at least 2,000 migrants at a base camp in Brighton Park. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Scott Schneider.
And I'm Dawn Hasbrook. That encampment is slated for a vacant lot at 38th in California, but a meeting tonight grew heated when residents divided on the plan. Casey Cronus is live from Kelly High School with the latest. Casey.
Hey, Don and Scott. Well, residents say they only found out about the plan when they saw construction crews working at the site. Tonight, they were calling for transparency, but it's something many of them feel they didn't get when the meeting reached capacity and they weren't allowed in. We could even hear the pounding on the doors from inside.
A line down the block shows just how much residents wanted in on the conversation. But a full auditorium meant the crowd stuck outside never got a seat at the table.
Oh, man. They are losing it. Enraged Deep Blue Chicago residents take over City Forum, heckling Democrats for trying to set up colony of illegal criminal aliens in the middle of the city. You work for us. That's what a lot of people are feeling. This is what a lot of people are feeling like right now. A lot of the people who ancestors are from America, who were born and raised here, who paid taxes here, who did their best to try and make this a good place to live, they're just being cast aside. And that's the feeling of neglect. The power structures inside of the Democrat Party specifically, but there are also people in the Republican Party that are doing nothing to stop this, are saying effectively, we don't like the Americans as they are. We don't like the American population. We want to ship in new people here that are more controllable and are going to be easier to manipulate, are going to be cheaper than all you people. And it is a sick feeling, and it's going to lead to something terrible. Just listen to the words of these people. Listen to the words. Here's a dude at a press conference in Chicago talking about the DNC convention. If you think you're going to have a peaceful Democratic convention while our people are starving, stay tuned. He talks about the DNC convention.
You're going to have the same office for us.
That's right.
You don't hear any other community talking this plural talk.
That's right.
They strictly speak for themselves.
You got to.
The Chinese in Chinatown speak for Chinese, right?
That's right.
The Greeks in Greektown speak for Greeks. The Hispanics in Little Village speak for Hispanics.
That's right.
Rightfully so. And black people speak for black people.
Oh, yes, sir.
Black Americans.
Good.
We're not African American. We're not people of color. We're not black and brown, minority.
That's right.
BIPOC. None of that. People, no, none of that. This is about our people demanding the resources, just as you're giving these people, these newcomers who are walking into this country.
That's right. You're right.
And sister's correct. How do you take a new group of people that have paid no taxes, can't vote, and you put them in front of the voters?
I'm not going to pay them no damn taxes.
And so we say this to you, Mayor, Governor, President. If you think that they're that powerful that you have to acquiesce and answer to them over us, then you tell them to vote for you in these next elections.
That's right.
You tell them to support your Democratic National Convention. And we're going to show you how we feel about the Democratic National Convention.
Turn it out.
Thank you.
If you think you're going to have a peaceful Democratic National Convention in the city of Chicago while our people are starving,
that's right.
Stay tuned.
All right.
Stay tuned, the man says. I don't want bad things to happen in Chicago. I grew up around Chicago. I like Chicago. But these policies have consequences. People that feel neglected, like they've worked their entire lives inside of a system, they were born here, and then the leaders of this nation quite literally like import people to take their places and their jobs. Like, what do you expect is going to happen? What do you expect? Like, eventually you'll reach a boiling point. I don't want it to get there. This is why Trump's policies to put America first were the most popular policies of my lifetime that I've seen a president enact. And we need to get back there, ladies and gentlemen. Trump 2024. If you agree with me, like, share, and subscribe to our channel right here. It's your boy Benny. Stay based. See ya.